it was decided that I would leave on Sunday morning by car. And then we reached at about 10:30, reached Karachi. And after eating food and just a little rest, we left for the airport because the plane, I remember, left at 12:30. Now, they told me to come late. Said there's no need for you to come early. They said exactly 5 minutes from the time of the departure of the plane, we will send our special car.
Everything seemed to be all right, and the manager assured that the flight would leave in time.
And the car came exactly 5 minutes before 12:30. And it was sent back.
The airport authorities, they stopped the flight from going on the scheduled time.
The order that our head of the Ahmadiyya community is not permitted to leave the country from any borders was signed by Zia himself. Ziaul Haq lived most of his time during the time of Hadhrat Khalifatul Masih Salis, the third caliph. So what he dictated was, and this is written on that prohibition letter, that Mirza Nasir Ahmad, the fourth head of the Ahmadiyya community, for that, is not permitted to leave the country from any borders. They had a dilemma. They could not stop Mirza Tahir Ahmad from going on. And they did not know much intricacies about the fourth and third caliphate, So they must have started ringing the intelligence chief of the intelligence bureau in Islamabad and trying to get clearance from him or instructions that this is the case. That is why this was delayed. So at 1:30, we left. The plane, of course, went to Geneva and from there on to Holland. And there we had to wait for a while. Then we came to London.
Around midday, Huzur arrived at Heathrow Airport. And by the grace of Allah, we had made all the arrangements, no problem, no difficulty. And the staff of the KLM, on which the airline on which Huzur travelled, they were also available to receive Huzur.
Once in London, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih could carry on his duties as the Khalifa. He, however, had to establish London as the new headquarters of the community.
He had a knack of making everybody feel extremely special. You know, whatever he wanted someone to do, he made them feel that they were capable of doing whatever that was.
He would find out what type of worker is he, and he would accordingly allot him the tasks. And he was very clear in his mind. He wanted the job to be done to the exact manner what he wanted to, and when that work is done, then he will praise him like anything.
और हौसला अफजाई की तो इंतहा थी. छोटा सा किसी ने काम किया तो उस पर इस तरह दाद देते थे कि आदमी शर्मिंदा होता था कि ये तो मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया, और उसके नतीजे में फिर इंसान को एक और ताकत मिलती थी. मैं समझता हूँ कि असल में खलीफतुल मसीह की दुआ और रूहानी तवज्जो और हौसला अफजाई के नतीजे में एक ताकत मिलती थी, और वो जो उसने छोटा सा काम किया वो उससे कई गुना कर जाता था अगली दफ़ा. उस पर जब हौसला अफजाई उसे मिलती थी और दुआ और तवज्जो और शफ़क़त, तो उससे फिर और आगे बढ़ता था.
And I think people just couldn't do enough. They were trying their best to fulfill whatever was the need of the moment.
Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad was a visionary. He foresaw the progress of the community and the need for workers in every sphere of life in the coming decades.
You know, this Waqf-e-Nau scheme, he started on 3rd April 1987, and I'm surprised because in 1984 he left Pakistan in very difficult conditions. You know, there was law against us, so he had to leave Pakistan. But within 3 years, he realized that Jamaat is now going to expand in much bigger scope. So for that, he instructed Jamaat's parents that they should offer their children even before the birth, and then train them accordingly so they become good वाक़फ़ीन ज़िंदगी.
हर मुल्क से जब वक्फ होंगे बच्चे तो उस मुल्क की ज़बान को भी समझते होंगे, उस मुल्क के मिजाज को भी समझते होंगे. जब उस मुल्क में ये बच्चे वक्फ करके बड़े होंगे और काम करना शुरू करेंगे तो ये बहुत अच्छा काम कर सकते हैं. और ये बजाय इसके कि एक जगह से वक्फ होकर निकलें, ये सारी दुनिया में तंजीम की तौर पर इस तरह फैल जाए.
Once the new setup in London was established, Hadhrat Khalifatul Masih IV was able to lead the community freely. However, back in Pakistan, Zia's persecution continued. Huzur's warnings grew stronger and stronger. Night after night, month after month, he prayed to God for help for his beleaguered people. He warned Zia in his sermon on the 3rd of June 1988.
और पाकिस्तान के बदनसीब सरबराह ने जो पहले डिक्टेटर के तौर पर जाहिर हुए, फिर उसके बाद सदर का चोला पहना, वो इस वक्त हज़रत मसीह मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम की तकज़ीब के सबसे बड़े लंबरदार हैं. और उनके तमाम मानने वालों को भी, और उनको भी जो तकज़ीब में पेश हैं और हुकूमत पाकिस्तान से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, और उनको भी जो तकज़ीब में पेश हैं और उलमा के तबके से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, उनको भी जो तकज़ीब में पेश हैं और अदलिया से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, उनको भी जो तकज़ीब में पेश हैं और सियासत से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, उनको भी जो तकज़ीब में पेश हैं और आवाम से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, लेकिन कुछ ग्रोहों के सरबराह हैं, उन सब को मैं मुखातब करके तमाम जमात अहमदिया की तरफ से मुबाहले का चैलेंज देता हूँ. अगर तुम मुबाहले के लिए तैयार हो तो मैं जमात अहमदिया की सरबराही में ऐलान करता हूँ कि लानतुल्लाह अलल काज़िबीन, तुम भी अपने चेलो चाँटों को इकट्ठा करो, अपने बड़ों और छोटों को बुलाओ, अपनी औरतों और बच्चों को बुलाओ, और ये ऐलान जमात अहमदिया के मद्दे मुकाबले करने की.
The challenge of Mubaila had been issued, but despite the warnings, Zia did not mend his ways.
हुकूमत का जहाँ तक ताल्लुक़ है, वो मासूम अहमदियों पर कानूनी हरबे इस्तेमाल करके तरह तरह के सितम ढा रही है. और आपको याद होगा कि मैंने आगाज़ ही में हुकूमत को ये भी मुतनब्बे किया था कि आप अगर अपनी शान के ख़िलाफ़ भी समझते हो चैलेंज को कबूल करना, अगर आप ज़्यादतियों से बाज ना आए और जुल्म व सितम की ये राह ना छोड़ी, तो जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ खुदा की तकदीर इसे मुबाहले के चैलेंज कबूल करने के मुतरादिफ बनाएगी और आप सज़ा से बच नहीं सकेंगे.
Hadhrat Khalifatul Masih IV saw a dream which contained a message from God.
I saw in a dream that I was translating a portion of Hadhrat Masih Maud, the founder of the Ahmadiyya community's writings. The history repeats itself, but not the way you think it repeats. It repeats itself in a different way. And when I said this, there were some Englishmen sitting around me, and they said that you are not making the correct translation. The history repeats itself, as we understand, is a different concept. But there are certain things which in essence always repeat, and nobody can change the course of this history. Those who clash with God or His messengers, they're always destroyed. That is how history repeats itself, not like you understand. And in the when I got up, then I knew it was a message about Zia.